What's up guys, welcome to the new video. Today I will show you how to make easy animations in Adobe After Effects. To achieve something like this, I will show you two ways and it's actually pretty easy, so let's just get straight to it. So first of all, you need to create your composition. That's up to you, usually go like Full HD, and then you need to import your illustration. Drag it over to your composition and make sure it fits. So what you're gonna do now is to grab this little pin tool. Yeah, and what's it gonna do when you click on somebody, it will create this little point, which you can later move with. So make those little joints where you want to bend your character or whatever you want to animate. I just put a little bit everywhere. Now that you have the basic skeleton ready, now is the time for our animation. So when you press U on your keyboard, it will show you all active elements. And there you can animate position of every point. And it will do its magic. There's nothing more to it. So just make sure to wiggle them around. Let's speed process this. We're gonna loop the animation. So we select all of the keyframes now and make them easy with F9, or if you want to change the velocity, that's up to you. And now we can check the animation. If you wanna make it a little bit slower or a little bit faster, just select the keyframes and hold Alt and drag them. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a simple expression. So if you press Alt on the blue stopwatch icon, you can put the expression and basically just put it everywhere, and it will do the trick that the animation is looped out. And if you wanna change some timing or the velocity, for example, or something, you don't have to duplicate it like 20 other times. Yeah, so that was option number one, and option number two, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's a little bit smoother and you have more control of the animation itself. So basically what you're gonna do to import your illustration to Adobe Photoshop or another software you prefer, and now, in this step you need to separate your illustration into every part that you want to be animated. So for example, I have this squirrel warrior illustration, and you wanted to separate them into every part that you want to animate. And really important is to make a separate background layer as well. So when we animate, there is like no empty spots and stuff like that. Yeah, I imported some like grass elements and lighting, and now is the time to separate our illustration. Here's the trick that you really want to make every element stand out for itself. So if there is like some overlapping action going, you need to fix that with some handy Photoshop tools. So when we animate it, there is no error going out, no overlapping. It doesn't have to be perfect. There, it will be shown like minimum of the things you repair, but make sure that you fix the overlapping parts. Now is the time to import our separated illustration to the After Effects. We create the composition, and there we have nicely separated layers. There is it's really cool when you work with Photoshop and After Effects workflow. You can input the sizes themselves. What we're gonna do now is like to move the anchor point from the torso. We always gonna, if we animate characters, we always start from the torso. Because if we start from the outer part of the body, it will end up like floating or not believable at all. So make sure you always want to start with the torso animation. I put the anchor point on the ground so it doesn't float or move. And then I added the simple scale animation, which we're gonna later on loop as well as before. When you have the torso set up, you can loop it out with the same expression we used last time. Just duplicate the first keyframe, make it ease, and then add the little expression just I showed you before. So now we have a perfectly endless loop with our torso bouncing, so we can add more elements to it. What are we going to now? It's to move the anchor point where the part is bending, and we're gonna parent our layer to the torso, so it always stick with our torso and its animation itself. So this step is really important. Here I demonstrate what happens when you don't parent it, and trust me, you don't want to do that by hand. So when you have parented your next body part, you can just make a subtle animation, like the sword bouncing of the shoulder, and make sure to loop it out. And that's basically the whole process. Now just repeat it till you're perfectly satisfied with the result, and you have like this cool smooth animation. In every part we're gonna loop the animation out. So if you wanna go back to anything and change it, it's really simple too. What I usually do is to make the layers different colors so I can navigate faster. There are some useful animation rules that if you follow, the character will have like the animation itself will have like a lot of life to it. So, for example, the shield bouncing will be a little bit delayed, so it looks like it's heavier and the motion is like waving the shield in the air. You always want to go from the center of the body to the outer parts. Here I just add like some simple elements to bring a little bit more life to it. And as I said, it's like always the same process. and a little bit light to the background, so there's more stuff going on in the scene. And there you have it. Your perfectly looped animation looked like some breathing or just like animated splash art or loading screens or whether or whatever you want to use it as. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later.